Hello indie game fans, before a large segment of the gaming population dives deep into Elden Ring in a couple of hours, do take the time to check out some indie game demos for the Steam Next Festival, where we are on day 3 of coverage with another set of games that I think will be of interest. Let's begin with Tower Princess, and, interestingly enough, 3D roguelite action platformer, which is again not something that you see every day. It has quite a classic high fantasy setting where you're ascending a tower, fighting slimes, skeletons and goblins in order to rescue the princess at the top. The combat and platforming looks decent enough, with what looks to be a good variety in the procedurally generated levels, so for being something different, this gets a spot. Quick little trailer for Lord Ambermaze, a pixel art turn-based dungeon crawler where enemies move only when you do. This does remind me of the tremendously underrated Fidel Dungeon Rescue, so I do hope there's something interesting here.
I met a traveler from an antique land. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
This video is brought to you by Ozymandias Bronze Age Empire Sim, another beautiful looking game, which is a 4X strategy title but with a simplified and faster format as compared to games like Civilization and Stellaris. I do like the Bronze Age setting, which is not that common in games, where you're the king of one such civilization, building an empire as you conquer and expand. There are 52 factions to choose from and simultaneous turn resolution, which changes up the strategy portion, looking like a very neat alternative to other titles on the market. If you're a history buff or simply like the vibe of something like Age of Empires, this will be one to wishlist. I did get a little kick out of Kick Bastards, since it looks like a ridiculous first-person action title that should be fun, provided you don't get motion sickness. This has you parkouring your way through the level, running on walls, kicking off them to jump, and even having some homing kick attacks to take out enemies. Strangely enough, it does remind me of another indie game in the Devolver Digital published High Hell from 2017, but with less guns and more kicks. If you played games like Dying Light 2 or Deathloop, you will know how fun and ridiculous kicking enemies off things is, so for more of that with a dose of Mirror's Edge, check this one out. There's something oddly relaxing about first-person simulators that people seem to love, with notable titles being House Flipper and most recently Power Wash Simulator, and another upcoming title that may just be able to capture that same audience is Camping Builder, one that is perhaps not exactly grammatically correct, but let's just leave that aside for now. What you are doing, however, is building stereotypical tropical island resorts and paradises, with huts by the beach, incorporating elements from nature and shaping the island with your actions. As such, it does look relatively chill and pleasant, which may be sorely needed right now. a long-anticipated title that, at least to me, has lost somewhat of its shine due to delays is The Unliving, a pixel art action roguelite that looks fantastic, where you play as a necromancer that quite literally wants to see the world burn. It has elements of strategy in this, since you are summoning an undead army from the corpses of your enemies, having pigment or sea salt-like elements as well. This will be an early access release in the first half of the year, so if you are curious, be sure to get a taste before the demo goes away. I do like city builders, which stems back to Sierra's Referral, when an adjacent title that I never got into personally was Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, being Chinese instead of Egyptian themed, where a second coming might just be Celestial Empire. This is based on the Han and Tang dynasties in China, with architecture and buildings to match, where it is about producing resources, ensuring that your people have enough to survive, managing trade with other nations, and worship or ignore the gods. There are gigantic monuments that you can build as well, with gameplay systems that do look like Referral, so I believe that the developers are fans of the Sierra games as well, making this a title of interest. This title might be for a very specific type of 90s kid like me, who grew up with Command & Conquer, since in the face of that IP languishing with Electronic Arts, indie developers have stepped in, with Line War being the title of interest here. First things first, I do like how this game looks, with a central feature being a streamlined number of units, which will fit in nicely in that rock, paper, scissors type strategy of having to counter each other. However, the developers have expanded it beyond the classic RTS, where there are elements from 4X strategy games, auto battlers, war games like Axis and Allies, and even real-time tactics games. With the power of modern technology, there can truly be an astounding number of units on screen, looking like Supreme Commander in some ways, where as the trailer states, it is about strategy and not actions per minute, which is quite different from one of the most popular RTSs in StarCraft, making this a must-play for fans of the genre. I am so very excited to check out the demo for Card Shark, since it is one of the most unique games to come along in recent memory. As it proposes, you are trying to cheat at cards, scamming your way into high society, where you need to be adept at both playing the actual card game as well as cheating, looking wholly unique with an awesome art style, making it a cannot miss. One of my most anticipated titles is The Iron Oath, since this is a pixel art title which has a larger open world to it, where you are managing a mercenary company and taking on contracts in the world. Most interestingly, this world dynamically evolves over time as empires rise and fall, perhaps egged on by your actions, with the saga of the company extending across multiple generations. Your mercenaries can also get injured, grow old and die, so there are consequences to your actions, and since we last took a look at this, it appears to have been fleshed out a lot more, with things like character portraits and turn order being added in, so it is one for tactics fans taking the #1 spot. For more of the best tactics titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.